Hi everyone, StariAri, and this is day 2 of my liquid fast. Again, I'm using the meal replacers by Huel, and again, I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything like that. I just my friend is a nutritionist, and she highly recommended these. So I got 2 different flavors. I got the vanilla flavor, and then I got the berry flavor. This is my last one for the day. I'm only taking 3 of these a day, so I'm replacing pretty much everything because it's a liquid diet. But in between, I drink a lot of water, and then I do take a vegan multivitamin in the morning with one of these. Each of them is like about 14 to 17 ounces. It really does depend. I usually go for 14 ounces, but it tells you in the packet that you can go up to 17 ounces. They are pretty thick. Like the consistency is really good, meaning that I feel like I'm full after I drink one. But then after like a 2-hour period, I get a little bit hungry, so I have to continue to drink water in between. So let me tell you guys a little bit about last night and what happened last night. So right after I filmed that video and I uploaded it to YouTube, I had to teach a class in my academy, and this was about Chiron and its placement within your chart and what does that mean for you. So I was reading through the pretty much the primal wounds, or your wounds this lifetime, and what you need to deal with. That's what Chiron is pretty much linked to in your chart. So I was going through all of the signs, and then when I got to the sign of Cancer, I got kind of a little bit emotional. I'm not a Cancer, that's the thing. But when I read it, I was like, oh my God, it's like Mr. Rogers. He wasn't a Cancer either. I think he was a Pisces or a Aries. I'm not sure. He was like right there. March 20th was his birthday. So anyway, I started reading about like their core wounds, and whoever has Cancer in Chiron within your chart, it's intense core wounds regarding love of self and love of others and love of the world. So it's very very intense, because as you guys know, I mean, my daughter is a Cancer and she's very soft-hearted. So I tend to be very like protective of Cancers, even more because of that. But let me just move this around. Sorry, I know I'm like moving it around. So I was like, what's going on with that, And then after I was done with telling the people their placements, and also you have to make sure you know your placement in Saturn as well as Uranus, because it has a lot to do with Chiron, because Chiron is like kind of like the bridger of both, and you're able to balance those 2 signs as well because of that. So I go on, and then I got off, and then I did a meditation connection to Syrian guides, and I felt like an intense, overwhelming need to release things. So after I did that, because I do guided meditations as well in my academy, after I did that, I texted one of my friends, because she does inner child work, and I was like, I'm like really emotional right now. Like, I don't know, I'm like really emotional, and I think it's because of everything that happened yesterday, all at once. It's like my higher self was like, guess what time it is, girl? Time for the dark night of the soul. And so it like all happened all at once, and so I started to reminisce about my parents' divorce, and then how I felt about it, and how my escape was TV, television. I always watched PBS, and my favorite show was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, because he explained things that were happening in real life, like in a just so that you could understand. And so I was watching an episode last night of Mr. Rogers, and it was about parents arguing. It was that those puppets, the king and the queen, those puppets. I'm not sure if you guys ever watched Mr. Rogers, but I have. So those two puppets were arguing, and then the prince was upset and he ran away from home. And it was because of, he thought that his parents were going to get divorced because of him. He's the one that did something wrong, all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's like how I felt when I was a kid too. Like I was just bawling my eyes out, like, you're okay, dude, you're okay. And so it's funny because my friend was telling me, because she does inner child work, she was telling me, okay, now you have to go back to that time and embrace your inner child and tell her she did a good job today, that she stuck up for herself, and that everything that she's doing is perfectly fine, and this and that, and give her a big hug, stuff like that. So I did that. And then my dreams were a little bit weird. I'll talk to you guys later about that, maybe like tomorrow, because I'm still trying to figure those out. So I got up this morning and I drank my shake. I took my vegan multivitamin, by the way. There is a difference because they're the ones that aren't vegan have animal products, and I'm trying to cleanse my body of all animal products. So we did that. I did that, and then I was getting like a lot of information, and all of a sudden, it's funny because then one of my other friends messaged me and asking me questions about certain beings, certain ETs, and she was describing an ET type of being that was coming to her, and I was telling her, I'm like, oh, this is so weird, because I've been getting a lot of new information about different beings like outside of this galaxy and stuff like that too. And so it was kind of like we had like the same information that we were tapping into. So it was wild to contact her and communicate like that on that level. And then I kept seeing more orbs. Like I see more orbs now. Like it's like my vision, my third eye is getting clearer. It's not as foggy. And then also, yes, I do have hunger, like a little bit of hunger here and there, but this is only the second day. And after the third day, for my experience, it usually subsides. And so even connecting with energy, like connecting with my own energy, is easier, and it makes it easier to remove or work through any type of energy that no longer serves me. So it's just a better, I always recommend people to fast, like, because you're doing like a reset of your body, mind, and your spirit. It's not just your physical body. It's not just about losing weight. It's not just about doing all that stuff. It's about making sure you're listening to your physical body and what it needs. And my physical body needed a detox, because it makes everything flow better, everything, higher connections to higher realms, everything, all the information is much more clear. There's not that much fogginess, and my third eye is even more active when I do these things. And even my senses are heightened, like my sense of smell for example is really heightened, and I can't tolerate a lot of like manufactured scents. How you get those the stuff that smells good, the air wicks or whatever. I can't stand them right now. So it's like a lot of that stuff going on, and of course everything is being monitored by one of my friends who's a nutritionist. She's making sure that I'm taking the proper caloric intake when it comes to these liquid diets, and then of course drinking the proper amount of water and a proper amount of exercise as well. So Huel, each packet has the nutrition information on there. There's two types. There is a gluten-free type, and then there's the regular stuff that has gluten in it. I got the gluten-free one because I want to cleanse my body of grains and stuff like that too. So it's all just pure like peas and rice and other stuff. But anyway, So 3 drinks a day. So I spread them out, you know, and then water in between. The other thing about this is the caloric intake is per serving. So that'll be like about 14 ounces to 17 ounces of the drink or whatever, or 2 scoops of the stuff. It's 400 calories, okay, for 2 scoops. So that's why I only drink 3, because when you add those up, it's 1,200 calories, and that is my regular, or that is my healthy intake, so that I can have, I don't have to have more than that, especially if I want to make sure that I am cleansing myself and preparing myself for pure water fast that I'm going to be doing after these 2 weeks. So yes, I'm doing this for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to do water for 1 week, and then from there, dry fast. A dry fast is nothing at all. I know it's like nobody knows what the difference is, but so I wouldn't call them fasting. Like I wouldn't call any, like I wouldn't call this liquid diet fasting or a water a fast, because you're still taking something. You're not fasting. You're not stopping yourself from taking anything. But a real fast would be nothing at all. Nothing at all. Like no water, nothing. Okay, and that'll be for a week. I've done those for like 3 days before, the nothing at all thing, like just a pure fast, and those are tough. So hopefully I have my, you know, mental state is a little bit tougher this time, because it's going to be a whole 7 days of it. All right, so that's the update that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and what I've been experiencing on the spiritual level and my connections and stuff like that. The more that you do this, you guys, the more that you purify your body, you cleanse yourself of like heavy metals and things like that, the more that you're going to be connected to higher frequencies and vibrations, and the more that you're going to see beyond the veil. All right, you guys, thanks again for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.